Welcome to the Abandoned Cockpit and Fireside Chats with Bjorn. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, and that is all. I wish I had a more flattering angle, but I didn't bring a tripod. I've got a cardboard box and a piece of wood. Anyways, that quote, Oscar Wilde, damn, not sure which one that is. But that really strikes a chord with me, because I think a lot of times I get stuck in the routine, just the humdrum of the day in, day out, same thing, don't know what day it is, barely know what year it is. You look back and you think, what happened 5 years ago? Where am I? What am I doing? You know, you think you're going to end up one spot, and for better or worse, you end up somewhere else. And sometimes it comes down to just feeling like you're existing. And I don't know, I guess that can be the easy way to live your life. Not a very purpose-filled or satisfying way to live a life. I think that's, a pretty depressing way to go through life. And that can be remedied by simple things of stopping to smell the roses, that kind of thing. But I think you need to make time for you. You need to make time for what you think is important and for who you think is important. But sometimes, it simply feels like you're existing and you're just waking up and you're living out of habit and for no other reason. And I don't know, I don't mean to make it sound like you don't want to live, but sometimes you have to assess, I don't know, not why you're alive, but what you're living for. And it's interesting, another philosophical quote, it's Rene Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Consciousness, to realize that you're actually in the moment and that you are real and that the things around you are real. Sometimes it feels as though the people around you might not be real, just because the quote, I think, therefore I am, is an acknowledgement that you know of your existence and your reality because you're seeing it from your consciousness, your perception, your ability to think and perceive things. Whereas other people, you basically just have to understand that they're real, whether it's a simulation or, whatever. And I had this thought, and I really want to bring this up to Dane and Luke at some point. I was in a casino, and that place is the most likely to look around and think of other people as NPCs. And when I say NPC, that's a video game terminology for non-player characters. So when you're playing a video game and you're interacting with these characters that are not people, they're not other humans playing with you. They're just computer-based, not real people characters. That's what it really felt like. And that's not... I've got no problems with casinos. They're fun. They can be fun. I'm sure they can be problematic too. Absolutely. But I really have no problem with gambling or casinos, personally or ideologically. But wow, when you walk through the casino, it feels like you're in a video game. Maybe that's the other thing. It just, with the lights and the sounds and the setting, and it's kind of dimly lit, it feels like you're walking through a video game. And that's why, I guess, looking around at different people, like, it just felt like they're not real people. They're just extras in my life, you know. So that's kind of an interesting thought, extras. And I guess necessarily for you to take on a meaningful approach to life, you kind of have to look at yourself as the hero of the story. And I don't mean in a narcissistic way. I just mean that you are the main character in your life. And you should be. You know, you're making the decisions, and you're experiencing life from the driver's seat here. So, without being selfish and self-centered, it is all about you, or at least your perception. And yeah, I guess sometimes you have to stop simply existing and take a more active approach to what's going on. And you really can do anything you want, for better or worse. And I don't mean that, you know, you can necessarily go dunk a basketball, or, you know, money's an issue for most people, like a limiting factor, or a resource. You know, you got financial resources, or human resources, or different things that allow you to do things. But on any given day, you can wake up and you can decide to go to work or not. You can decide to love your spouse or not. You can decide to drive your car into the front living room of your neighbor. That's kind of a weird thing, but let me make that a more positive thing. Something that I would actually often do, as a single man anyways. Not drive my car through somebody's wall, but just drive. Just get in your car, and you can drive any fucking where you want to go. You know, granted that you have the money for gas and the reliability of a good car. But I think that's one of the funnest things to do. Just get in your car, pick a direction, start driving, and go through small towns, find, you know, random restaurants or sites, exhibits, museums, gift shops, and just go experience the things that you might not otherwise ever see. And that might come back to video game logic. Like, that's what I like about games like Fallout or Skyrim or Minecraft. The exploration, just finding things and seeing things, even in the game. And I'm not obsessed with video games as much as I would like to be. As a new father, you don't get to play video games anymore. Even as a new husband, that's kind of taken a back seat. Which is fine, and it's probably good, and it's the way it should be. But maybe exploration and discovery is what living in life is really about. Even if it's self-exploration or self-discovery, you know, internal. I think that's another way to experience new things. Or interpersonal relationships. You know, it doesn't have to be a physical location that you've never been to before. Meeting new people is often, you know, a way to step out of not necessarily, maybe your comfort zone, but at least the realm of what you know. And it's funny how sometimes when just talking to someone, things do come up unexpectedly or surprisingly, and you find commonality, or maybe not something common, something that you don't know anything about, and you can learn. So I guess that's what I have to say about existence, is that sometimes existing isn't enough. And if that's all you're doing is existing, is you are just a background character to somebody else's story. And you deserve more. I don't really have more to follow up on that. I guess that's all I have to say, is you deserve more than simple existence. I already said that. I didn't need to say that last part. Thanks again for joining me tonight. It's a nice night. Hopefully the bugs aren't too loud. The crickets are chirping. It's a star-filled sky. It's not chilly. Not even chilly out. It's a good night.